Mike Hosking Breakfast, 6 to 9 weekdays on News Talk ZB.
G'day there. Surely we didn't miss the irony on climate change last week. On one day, it is announced we have reduced our emissions now for 3 years in a row, so good on us. The very next day, Transpower, the people who get the electricity into your lounge, tell us yet again, that this winter has issues and peak load and demand might be problematic. Now, part one of the emissions reduction bit is increasingly about us feeling good because, as we also found out a bit over a week ago, huge chunks of the world are not reducing their emissions at all and not even close, which then leads to a lot of people arguing, well, we shouldn't bother because why would we? It makes absolutely no difference at the end of the day. I actually come down on the other side of that. I think if we can, we should. And let's be honest, in doing what we have so far, have we reached a point where we are massively inconvenienced? I wouldn't have thought so. Until, of course, well, enter Transpower to tell us yet again this winter we've got problems. Now, here's the simple rule of thumb in my book. To not have enough power in 2024 is simply not good enough, and it should be seen as an abdication of responsibility. And the reason we don't have enough is quite openly admitted. The renewables are not voluminous enough and not reliable enough to cover the growing demand each and every winter. The transition basically hasn't transitioned to the point where we can largely leave fossil fuel behind. So the line for me is simple. Save the planet all you want, even if it's futile, given China and India. But don't get so hell-bent about it that the heater isn't on in July when it's -3. That's not a first world country and it's not a first world approach. Making it even more ridiculous is the transition involves technological advance like EVs, of course. Now, if we don't have enough power right now, how do we power EVs? How do we power generative AI? The so-called future, but a future that requires 10 times more power than a Google search. I mean, talk about the cart before the horse when we still struggle, winter in, winter out, to do the basics. We have allowed ideology to hijack reality, and that is not the future of the future.
The Mike Hosking Breakfast, 6 to 9 weekdays on News Talk ZB.